don't think Wonder Woman ever had that much fucking chest hair on her chest, and you need to wax everywhere. You need to tuck that shit between your legs, cause God, oh, you're gonna haunt me for the rest of my life.
Dude, are you done posing yet? My arms are killing me right now.
Fine.
Nice hair.
Ugliest Wonder Woman ever.
What are you talking about? Dude.
Hair's not even real. Start on that.
Hey, nice.
I mean, you know,
It makes it feel good.
tissue paper doesn't work.
Wow.
Welcome everybody to a brand new movie review where these two normal, average people and me,
Psychopath right here.
Wonder Woman, talk about Wonder Woman 1984. Hey, wait a minute. 1984 was a good year, wasn't it?
How would you even remember?
Well, I was 2.
I was 1.5.
How old are you, John?
84?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh!
That's the only one.
I remember.
And 84 was good. It had that Van Halen album, which is really great. A bunch of
1984.
cool horror movies. Yeah. The
Absolutely.
clothing. And apparently,
Oh boy.
Wonder Woman.
Definitely let herself go.
You asshole. Oh, man. Oh, so, you know what? Before we do this review, because I see, the thing about it, guys, to be honest with you, is that I don't want these guys to feel inadequate next to me being such a superpowered individual. So I just...
Very intimidating.
Thank you.
As a cockroach.
As the best goddamn Wonder Woman you ever see.
We could have done better.
Right.
We could have done better.
It's good, but it could be better.
No.
We'll talk.
We'll talk. Guys, let me change just so that, these guys aren't as intimidated and, I can...
Oh, jeez.
and I don't,
Stop feeling yourself up.
I don't scare them with my beauty. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. More like Freak Show.
Don't let me get medieval in your head.
Yeah.
That's change.
You're about as frightening as a cockroach.
Let's change. Woo! Oh my. Oh! Yeah. Oh!
Almost look normal.
Do I?
No, not really. Can you believe it?
Yes, I do.
I'm surrounded by children.
You're the lead jacket.
Guys, I'm out of the Wonder Woman gear.
For now.
Ah, yes, indeed.
See him on the street corner, worry.
Oh, please give me some money. That's all I ask. But seriously, we are talking about Wonder Woman 1984. Now, few years ago, John,
Yes.
a little movie came out, DC movie called Wonder Woman. And
Yes.
actually, it shocked a lot of people how goddamn good it ended up being. I mean, seriously.
Yep.
What do you
And,
expect for an origin story?
well, it was just a really great movie overall.
Yeah.
The acting, the action, the directing, the love story, everything worked.
Yes.
Good
And
casting, too.
and I remember that, everybody left that movie thinking, oh my God, okay, when's the sequel coming?
Yes.
And we were all...
And they came, alright.
Yes, and we were all just anticipating as the trailers came out. And of course, we were supposed to get it earlier in 2020. However, the coronavirus has kind of nixed those plans a little bit.
That's what they say.
And it went on streaming on HBO Max. And first off, I want to thank one of our really great subscribers for giving us a free code to watch the movie. We greatly appreciate it. Truly.
Thank you.
And you know, I was anticipating the sequel. I know you were, and so were you, John. We all were.
I got hyped up by the trailer.
And trailers hype you up big time. You know, at the end of the day, look, the movie was highly anticipated. Did it deliver? Where do you guys want to start with Wonder Woman 1984?
I mean, you already know who's going to be in this movie from the trailer alone.
Well, yeah, because you have Gal Gadot coming back. You have
the opening scene.
What?
The opening scene.
The opening scene
where she was on the island.
Oh yeah, you have her. Well, they show the flashbacks.
Flashback, yeah.
And you have also, you know, Chris Pine coming back. You have Kristen Wiig in here. Connie Nielsen. You have also Pedro Pascal, yeah. and all these other people added onto here. I mean, look. First off, let me ask you guys this question. You know, with Gal Gadot coming back, obviously she is Wonder Woman now.
Yep.
Did she deliver? Seriously. Did she deliver?
Well, the problem is when you're going to do a sequel like this, from the timeline of the first movie to Justice League, you got what, about 100 years worth of potential storylines?
There's a lot.
And here's my big first question. He said in Justice League, it's been 100 years since anybody's seen you. Where have you been this whole time? This movie counteracts that.
Yeah, being in 84, it's a little bit like, wait a minute, was she should be known more than she is. Yeah. There is that aspect to it. I mean, you were kind of a little teetering on whether she delivered or not. I mean, what is... Oh Lord!
I mean,
oh Lord!
To me, they didn't show enough of her to like get a great judgment.
Yeah.
Of Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, she is the title character, so she's in there.
Yeah, well, she's in there, but
she didn't.
There was like small part of in the beginning when she was actually Wonder Woman, like the opening.
Okay.
Now.
Sure.
She was more her alter ego through most of this film.
Yeah, the action was not there for her.
Yeah.
So do you? Okay, so let me ask you this: do you define Gal Gadot's performance by the acting ability or by the action as Wonder Woman?
Well, you got action. It's an action movie, and she's...
Yeah, it's a superhero movie.
It's a superhero movie, and you wanted them to do superhero stuff.
Yes.
Well, acting's fine. It's
okay.
I mean, it's not... Superhero movie's not not the greatest, but it's...
I felt like
they're good enough.
Felt like more like a Lifetime movie when we were watching.
Yeah. She had minimal...
No, I get it.
It felt like a Hallmark movie.
She had minimal action in the movie as being Wonder Woman.
Okay.
The beginning when she... Well, I can't remember what they were doing in the beginning.
The mall scene.
The mall scene.
Yes, the mall scene.
She was kicking butt.
Yeah, she was kicking ass.
And then I said to you...
Yeah.
45 minutes later, or so, when is she going to be Wonder Woman?
Yep.
And then after that, it just went... Whew.
I think the problem here... And I don't know if you'd agree. I don't know if you'd agree with me, Bob. But it's like, so the first 20, maybe 25 minutes, right?
Okay.
There's some solid action in there. We're liking.
I'd say maybe 15 to 20, not that far.
We're liking what we're seeing, and then
it just cuts dead.
And then it cuts dead. And I think it cuts
boring as hell.
I think it cuts dead for what, like an hour and a half.
Maybe the majority of the film until...
It was boring.
I mean, you get like small little scenes.
You did.
It got so boring for me.
It was boring.
I was starting to get Z's over here.
Not only I thought the movie was boring, the whole storyline between I don't even know if you can classify them as villains or just people that got misused by power.
I looked right at you and said, what the hell is this about?
Yes, you did.
I'm going like, I understood what it was about, but it was like, it wasn't capturing me.
You got angry, and I don't blame
you. It took us like what, almost 2/3 of the film to find out what was actually going on.
Yeah, I mean, we got the gist of what was going on.
But we didn't understand
but
fully.
it wasn't grabbing me. It was just like
you get the whole thing with this stone that's supposed to grant wishes. We didn't even really fully understand it until like almost 2/3, like 70%.
Yeah, but
of the
I
film.
mean, it wasn't capturing me.
I think there's a few issues here. One is it's just a boring movie. Lack of
I
action.
thought it was
is
a
a
bore
big
fest.
thing. Lack of action is.
Wonder Woman didn't do her Wonder Woman stuff.
I agree with
I
you.
didn't think so.
You look like you need CPR watching this movie.
Somebody needs to.
I always think that would have woke him up.
But no,
I didn't fall asleep, but
you look like you were comatose while you were watching it. Like,
dude, it was boring.
But let me ask
It
you
was
this.
hard
guys.
to get into it.
Was there like let's talk about a few things. Okay, so like did the villain save it? Like when you look at Kristen Wiig and when you look at Pedro Pascal,
let me point out these two for those two characters.
Okay.
Pedro Pascal, I think he's a great actor. He's been doing a lot of good stuff in other things.
The Mandalorian.
This movie, yeah, I mean, Mandalorian. He was in Kingsman 2, and remember he played you remember who he played in that?
Yes, I do. Yeah, it was great.
In this movie, it was just like he's just like one of those 80s salesmen who try to get you to buy it.
He was a scam artist.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, I got a bit of power now. It's like I can make things happen. I'm like, they're really going this way? I mean, really?
They did.
It's good, but it can be better. Yes, see the wonderful slogan, right?
It didn't get better.
So
kind of got worse.
But the problem with Pedro Pascal's character, in my opinion, and I completely agree with you 100%.
He's bland.
He's bland, but the problem is that
overacting.
Well, that's not always a bad thing.
Wasn't that character always like very villainous in the comics?
Right.
Maybe, but the problem that I have
no idea.
is like you don't really get to understand or sympathize with him and what he's going through. At the end of the movie, there's like flashbacks of when he was a kid.
It would have been better if they did that like in the middle or the beginning of the movie for him.
And then you understand what he's all about and why he is the way he is. Yeah. You just get this corporate oil guy that somehow wants to grant wishes for himself and take over the world, and it's kind of bland. It's weak. It's bland. That's what it is.
At least with the Dreamstone thing, there could have been like a thing that becomes alive, like a real entity.
Well, that's the thing, and also, God, I hate to.
I want to destroy Kristen Wiig.
Yes. Now I want to say something. I do not like Kristen Wiig.
I know you hate her.
I do not. And look, it's not that she's a totally bad actress, because I like her in a couple things, but like, here's the problem, right? Okay, so she plays this sort of nerdy science chick, right? Mm-hmm. Now,
well, when you're done, I can tell you how this can relate to another movie that we've seen.
Well, actually, I'm gonna relate for a moment, actually, because if you look at somebody like Jim Carrey as the Riddler, or Jamie Foxx in Amazing Electro, they start out as these geeky, characters that eventually become villains.
Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man he's geeky anyway.
Well, we didn't start with that one.
But my thing about it is that it's just like when they cast Jim Carrey as the Riddler in Batman Forever, it made sense. Well, it made sense to me because he
was hot at the time. He's doing all great movies.
He was hot.
He's funny.
He was funny, and the Riddler.
The Riddler could be him. That's a perfect role for him.
When I look at Kristen Wiig and that character, I'm like, it doesn't fit to me.
Yeah.
Like, it never fit. Like, I just don't understand what the casting was and why they decided. It just didn't make a single lick of sense.
The wishes that she got didn't. I mean, they kind of made sense, but they kind of didn't.
Yeah.
She became Cheetah was another thing that was.
Oh my God.
Debacle.
She didn't even become Cheetah until sort of the last 10 minutes of the movie, 20 minutes.
Like that.
Even the CGI for that was.
It's terrible.
Well, like I said, one movie I could compare it to, dorky person becomes an evil bastard is like in the movie Christine with that kid. Remember?
Yeah.
Yes, sure. But again, like my thing about it just remains of like
she was like a bland version of Diana, getting the powers and shit.
She wanted to be like, like Diana. And so she was starting to gain, the confidence, the beauty, the power. But the problem is, it was so slow going.
Yeah.
To get her, literally, and the whole like cheetah thing only happened because she made another wish because of it.
The only reason I think she even got the second wish because, like they said in the movie, Lord eventually was able to control the wishes and the prices and all that.
Yeah, we started about the wishes.
But she
That's a whole nother thing.
But if you're casting her as the villain called Cheetah, don't you want Cheetah in the goddamn movie?
They shouldn't even waited that long to put Cheetah. They should have did that like almost
Half
right after the
before
first
half
wish
the movie.
gone bad.
Yeah.
They didn't build her up enough. She just became Cheetah. Didn't she? I'll tell you to be quite honest. I don't even remember how. I remember how she became Cheetah, but I don't remember the meaning behind it.
And
I wasn't quite.
Even when you do the fight scene between Diana and Cheetah, it's like you think
it lasted like 10 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
It seemed like.
And Cheetah's supposed to be strong enough to at least go toe to toe with Wonder Woman, or at least a while anyway.
Yeah. And it was such
bland.
It was bland, and it was actually kind of a Olympic effort, if I had to say it. Because look, at the end of the day, like when you look back at the first Wonder Woman movie, she's going against a god.
Yeah.
Her own brother.
Yeah, she's going against a god. Like that's a challenge.
Yeah.
What challenge did she have here? I mean,
She
other than
should've
the
been able
wishes,
to,
I
There's
guess,
always a
but-
challenge.
She
with
should have
some
been able
villain
to
or
do something
something.
like this to Cheetah.
Yeah,
She's
like
down.
I just don't get it.
Well, that and she's had another? I don't know how long it took from the Last movie.
That was World War
like couple decades. at
One,
least.
wasn't it? That was,
I want to say yeah.
I
You
believe
gotta
that was.
figure
Yeah.
she's gotten stronger over time.
Yes.
I mean, her father was literally the king of the gods, so she should be almost up to his potential.
True.
eventually.
But I don't understand. I don't understand.
She fought somebody
Stand
that
this.
morphed into a were-cheetah. She should have been able to knock her ass out in one punch.
The CGI was just terrible. It just turned into a big old
Blob.
a blob of a mess.
That and the whole thing
mean-
with like the golden armor suit. It's supposed to be invincible.
The golden armor suit was an interesting idea, and they advertised it big time in posters
Yeah.
and the trailer, and
Cheetah was tearing through it like cardboard.
I just think to myself, I'm like, well, wait a second, like that was barely in the movie,
Yeah.
and
Well, it's like the story that she told. Like the person who had this was basically unstoppable.
I don't know,
Couple
man.
fights from Cheetah, the armor.
I'm speechless when it comes to this because I didn't enjoy it at all. I mean, I zoned out. I mean, I watched it, but it
Sure.
was just like, you know what I mean? It's not that I didn't put any effort in watching it, but I was just.
Let me ask you
Right.
about the wishes.
Okay.
I'm making a wish right now
I-
to get out of this
I can wish
conversation.
too.
Because did you understand it all at the end of the day?
Yeah, I do understand it because he soaked up the power from the stone.
He did. He became the stone.
And he became the stone, and he
Right.
granted wishes,
He did.
and
So-
the wishes came true for him.
Yes.
That and
So he was just
control the
soaking up
outcomes.
all the wishes and powers. But the thing is, at the end of the movie, which this is a spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler.
Spoiler. All you gotta do is unwish, and everything would go back to normal. That easy?
Well,
That easy?
The point that the point that you got to add to that is like every time he was doing a wish, his body, it looked like his body was deteriorating.
Yes.
So I figure he'd get more power, this and that.
Like it looked like his body's ripping apart the closer he got.
Maybe he
to
was
it.
turning into something, but
Maybe,
I know
but
it could turn into a big.
I don't know.
Rotten, stinky,
And
whatever the movie is.
I just,
I mean, the only thing I could say I kind of liked in this movie was seeing
Really?
all the old stuff from the '80s, like Orange Julius.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the '80s stuff is cool, but does the nostalgia carry this movie?
No,
It doesn't.
Oh God.
It
It-
didn't
okay,
carry
I'll tell
this
you,
movie
my
with a
opinion.
pitchfork.
After like the beginning or so,
okay.
it stopped being like a movie from '84.
No, in fact, that whole like mall stuff, right? Which is kind of cool, but you could see that in an episode of Stranger Things.
Yep.
I mean, what does this movie do past the idea of an '80s nostalgia thing? What does it do outside of that makes it an equal to the first Wonder Woman movie?
Not a damn thing.
Okay.
To me, it's day and night.
So,
big time.
So let me ask you this: the trailers were great, but we know trailers lie.
They were good. I mean, I don't care. You know, trailers are just hype you up, but I don't go by trailers. There are trailers that are very good.
Yes.
End up being good movies.
Absolutely.
But then there's great trailers that end up being a stink pot.
Went through plenty of those type of movies.
Absolutely.
Of course. And I never go into a movie saying this is going to be great. I want to watch it first and make my opinion.
But look, the problem here is that to me, Wonder Woman is such a dynamic character, or can be a dynamic character.
She is.
But when you see what I loved about the World War setting that she was in is it felt right for her as a character, for Diana, for her discovering herself and discovering the world. I don't know what made '84 special that she, other than making a few jokes about the fashion and maybe stuff like that.
It didn't hold up.
What did that carry to the movie? That did nothing for it.
I mean, you got to realize this person is a half god, and her Amazon side, they're ageless, so she's basically immortal. Yeah, she's going to be living unless somebody is more powerful than can kill her.
Sure,
she's going to be around forever.
I don't know.
Let me get to another thing.
Oh, okay.
We got on here.
Okay, sure, yeah.
When Diana makes her wish, she gets her boyfriend back, Steve, who possesses the body of another guy. She doesn't question this.
No, in fact, he literally shows up.
I mean, she doesn't recognize him at first. And then slowly but surely, she's starting to recognize him again. Kind of with the camera going around. But she doesn't bat an eye about this. It's not like, oh my God, this is really strange and weird. Steve. Yeah. You know, giving him tongue. Yep. Like you're.
Wow.
I think you were in that Wonder Woman costume.
See you guys.
You stay.
No, she doesn't even question it. Christ, it must.
Yeah, but
she
the
must
reason
have
why
been really horny or something because she's thinking of that same.
The reason why I don't think she did anything because she loved him so much.
Yeah,
and
but
it's love
not
is blinding.
Really
you know what I mean? She's just like.
But it's not him though. I mean, it's.
Well, yeah, I understand that,
possessing
but
somebody.
I'm not making. She was just. It was him. Everything else is blind.
Yeah.
It didn't matter to her.
I know, but at the end of for me, I just look at there was such a really great love story in that first Wonder Woman movie between her and Chris Pine, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, she obviously hasn't been with anybody since. She only loves him.
Right.
And I understand that. But I don't know, was this movie meant to sort of maybe move her forward to say, okay, you can let go now? Or is it what? I mean, and as far as the wish stuff is concerned, like, she gives up her wish because she had made the wish in her mind about, you know, wanting him back.
Mm-hmm.
She was losing her powers.
Price was losing her abilities, yeah.
Her abilities and her powers, and she was getting weak. That's all fine and good. That's not a problem. But I don't know. To me,
I don't want to let you go. You gotta let me go. Then, you know, I'll ever know it's my wish.
Now, you have to also remember that because this is a Wonder Woman movie, we do get some, you know, classic Wonder Woman stuff in there. You do get, actually, the invisible...
Here's another thing I gotta point out before we even get into that.
Okay, cool.
Steve's been dead for what? 5 decades? Something like that? 4 or 5 decades?
Yeah.
Somehow he knows how to fly an advanced plane. I want to know how. You gotta figure a lot's changed since his day. A lot.
He knows how to fly an advanced plane. He's
likes the cheese in the can and
cheeseless.
To me, it all feels kind of convenient.
Cheap.
Yeah, and I mean, with as far as the invisible plane stuff is concerned, it's cool. Don't get me wrong.
All she did was the same kind of spell that cloaked the mascara, like her dad did, in a smaller scale.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's cool. It's good to see.
No security apparently to get a plane. No, they just walked right in.
Well,
I'll take
okay.
that one.
I mean, it's just I mean, next time I drive up to like a military base to get a plane or something, I hope that
Yeah, it's a giant bomber or something, something cool.
I mean, I'll just dress up as Wonder Woman and maybe.
They will be calling so many cops on that one. They'll be calling Fox News.
Fox News on me. Oh Lord. So no.
We have to interrupt CNN. Man walked in dressed up as Wonder Woman, decided to go take a plane.
With his Kleenex titties in his
That's the description.
That's the description.
That's the description.
Are you gonna call him? I think I've seen him.
I will not.
I'll be laughing watching this on CNN.
Oh Lord. Yeah, you do have that. I mean, you even have Wonder Woman flying, and of course riding the lightning.
I have a problem with her flying. I'm like, if she had this ability,
sure,
it should have been in Justice League too.
This is a good point. You see, this is the. I guess for me, and I don't even know if you think this way too, John. Is that the problem with making a Justice League movie before making some of these other films? Is that literally now there's a whole bunch of continuity errors, and well, now that suddenly she can do this, and why couldn't she do that in the other movie? Yeah. And so suddenly you have these inconsistencies, and
it's like that thing I told you earlier about Batman saying you've been gone for almost a century. Where have you been all this time?
You mean like origin movies?
Well, no, it's like look, when Marvel does their Avengers, they went and did all the individual movies.
Like the origin,
like the oranges, and all this stuff. Now you have Justice League that came out, and now we're backtracking. And
I see what you mean.
And so now we have a Wonder Woman 84, which is cool to have, but now, as Bob pointed out, there's a lot of inconsistencies.
Okay.
And so, I mean, are you okay with that as a fan? Do you just chalk it up as, hey, this is a mistake, and we just go with it?
You talking about like how she flew?
Flies and all that stuff.
And she like lightning, lassos of lightning.
Yeah.
That don't bother me really.
I mean, I know it's in the
she's.
I mean, it's in the comics.
Done that before, yeah. So
I mean, her father is the Lord of Thunder and
Lightning. So she inherited all that stuff. So that's not really a big deal.
I mean, that's fine, but as far as as Bob is saying, continuity wise,
any of that shit in Justice League.
Yeah.
I don't know if you really have to show it in Justice League because that movie's different.
This is true. So I guess in some ways,
people you had Cyborg, Batman, they all could have movies by themselves.
Sure.
But how are you going to fit that all into one movie?
Well, that's true too. So I mean, in some ways, that's not. Yeah, I know. I understand.
When you got Superman and Batman, pretty much the head honchos.
Yeah.
No,
that's a good point too.
How are you gonna?
It's
hard to fit all that in a 2.5-hour movie still.
I mean, but
I don't even think this movie needed to be.
No.
Well, I mean, I mean, like Justice League, like 2-hour movie. They showed little tiny origins for each person.
But I'm just talking about.
But we know Batman. They don't have to go back and show Batman again. We all know Superman.
Well, I'm just talking about this movie, though.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm saying, how do you fit all that into a Justice League movie?
And I agree with you. 110%.
That's why she does her own movie. She does her own stuff.
But do you think that this movie is going to inform the next, whatever Justice League film comes down the line? Do you think that
I don't know if they'll ever do one.
I don't know.
I think so.
I mean, but here's the thing about it. There's nothing. I can't say there's nothing in this film that doesn't inform a third Wonder Woman movie, but
The end credit might say
It
something.
might say something about that, tiny bit,
I mean,
but
It's the only thing that can connect it.
There's not much time I mean, you only got from 84 to... I forget, what was the other one? 2016?
Something like that. So you don't have a lot of time, but my thought about it is this, right? Because they've pretty much said, oh, hey, look, we're going to do a Wonder Woman 3. We're going to do it.
They said that already, yep.
They said that already. My thing is like, okay, if this is 84, when does the next one happen?
Before Justice League.
You think so?
I could think of. Why not?
But
after, before, I don't know, one of the two.
But in Justice League, Bruce Wayne, as Bob says, Bruce Wayne's like, oh, I didn't know about you. I didn't know, that, and
it was the 80s, so they probably forgot about it real quick.
Yeah, with like the cocaine in the 80s and everything, people were so coked up that,
Yeah,
I mean, it was just a mirage,
breakdancing and stuff like that.
The beginning of the height of drugs.
Does that lose your memory when you
breakdance?
When you breakdance?
I've never breakdanced before in my life.
Okay, but you kept your memory though, so
I remember.
Okay,
yeah. It's shot sometimes, but
Well, here's another thing, like toward the end for at least two of the characters.
Okay.
The bad guys anyway.
Yeah.
Once he gives up the power of the wishes, Cheetah becomes human again. And he apparently, I assume he gets arrested after all that shit. If anybody remembers what happened.
Got me.
I'm assuming, maybe?
I was like, that's piss poor ending for characters. I was like, you're arrested, bye, let's go.
I mean,
it's more like, oh, son, I'm not really a good guy, I pretend like I am. It's good, but it could be better.
Hold on now. Hold on. It's good, but it could be better.
Yet to be seen.
Yeah, no, look. I think...
Well, that...
I mean, if my hope for a Wonder Woman 3, right? My hope for a Wonder Woman 3 is that it takes place around...
100 years after all this shit.
93, 94, when grunge is really going on, Nirvana's big, and she is...
Punk rocker
and she's going, like, to a grunge concert.
Oh, Christ.
And she's kind of like, down.
Is that like country meets Kurt Cobain, Nirvana?
Sure.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
You
might as well.
It smells like Teen Country.
Smells like shit to me.
Nose piercings and shit.
I want to see her in flannel. I mean...
we're going way too far now.
Oh, Lord, look.
After watching this movie, I don't want to see anything. I don't know.
What other bad guys has she ever had?
Yes, because I'm actually curious, because you're a big, like, comic book guy. Like, I never really read Wonder Woman. So you don't really know what other villains she might have.
The only one I've ever seen was in Justice League, and that was like a rogue Amazon.
I don't know. There's some villain. I can think of some villains that the Justice League had, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You had Riddler, but
she's not.
That was like Batman's.
But if you're talking about
Solomon Grundy,
I think that was more. Isn't that more Superman? Solomon Grundy?
It might be.
I don't know. I'm not a DC fan.
But if you're talking about
that was Legion of Doom, I'm thinking of.
It might be.
The Legion of Doom had enemies of the Justice League, like Superman and
Sorrow. Hades.
Oh, true. But when you're talking about rogue gallery of villains, like Batman has a great rogue gallery. Superman has a good, a decent rogue gallery. Spider-Man.
Best villains in probably comics.
Yeah, but Wonder Woman. Like,
well, I could think of Cheetah automatically.
Yeah, but they just fucked up Cheetah. So
there's other villains, but I don't
not
know.
as good as Cheetah was.
I just don't. I mean, at the end of the day, the problem was we were sitting here watching the movie, guys. No lie, and John turns to me and said, "Is she gonna be Wonder Woman again?"
Yeah.
What's going on here? Like what are we?
5% Diana Prince and 5% Wonder Woman.
It's like a soap opera. I don't know what it was about, but
We were literally sitting there for like an hour and a half, an hour 45 or more, thinking to ourselves, when is this going to get good again?
I mean,
seriously,
we had more fun enjoying our food that we're eating while we were
absolutely
watching
than we did watching this movie, man. And look, from the heights of how good Wonder Woman was to where this is,
it's a straight drop.
Huge fall. Gigantic fall. I mean, with that being...
doing her super leap right to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, what is your final thoughts and grade rating on Wonder Woman 1984? I mean,
I can't really knock Gal or...
No, I can't.
I mean, maybe Kristen I can...
No, I can't.
But, I mean, the movie was bland. I mean, it was so bland. It felt like it was going to burn up.
It wasn't going anywhere.
It was just like, come on, when are you moving?
That made, like, almost everybody accepted everything that was happening. They didn't question a damn thing.
No, there was nobody questioning.
It was all easy. It was all
easy. It was all convenient. It was all just, like...
Super cheesy.
I
don't mind it being a little cheesy.
No, cheesy's fine.
But it was just like... You knew what was going to happen next, like...
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do anything, like, make the Dreamstone turn into something like the movie Wishmaster. Turn into that creature or something.
Something that could have, like...
Something that dangerous.
Some big bad at the end.
A giant demon-like creature.
Something. Give us something, man.
And ended so easy.
Yes. Super easy.
I undo my wishes. The end.
Oh, that's it?
That's it?
That's it? You don't go through fights or...
Cool.
Wonder Woman is...
The world goes to straight chaos and it ends like nothing happened.
You know, I wish I can dress up as Wonder Woman again. Right? I mean, you guys would want that wish, right? Guys?
No.
No.
Thought I'd ask.
You know, if I had to make a wish from the Dreamstone, I wish we never watched this movie.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I don't know what my price would be, but... It'd be worth it.
Okay, I mean, if you had to, if you were to have said what your grade rating would have been for a Wonder Woman, and then to this, what's
Wonder Woman for me? I think it was, I don't remember what I gave it when we originally saw it. I don't even think I did the review.
No, you didn't do the review.
I loved it. I mean, I thought it was like I wouldn't say a perfect day, but it was like pretty close.
Yeah.
This one, Jesus Christ. I wish I could get those 2.5 hours back.
A couple more wings.
Yeah, another slices of pizza.
Yeah, this is the good shit that we had.
Right, that was way better.
So
we could have had a better conversation than watching this movie.
This is true. So I mean, what would your grade rating for this be?
I mean, what did you say? The Van gave it, John?
Van gave it a D-.
That's
yes,
he wanted me to tell y'all it really sucked.
That's being kind.
Yeah.
He's not even close to what I'm gonna give it.
Okay, what are you gonna give it?
What's worse than enough?
I think just enough. I mean, that's the enough.
You know, I'll give you because it's worse than enough.
What?
I won't say. I'd say the actors. I'm sorry that you had to go through this movie. It could have been a lot better. But I'm gonna have to give you I'll give you a Z. That's how bad it was for me.
Oh Jesus! Oh Lord! Oh
That's
wow!
That's like the ultimate. F.
So was there any? Let me ask you this. Honestly, obviously, you didn't like the movie. Clearly,
I was bored.
But is there any redeeming value for you for this movie?
I mean,
Gal Gadot, right?
I mean, lucky
she couldn't save the movie.
Eyes, but
yeah, but that's not her. I mean,
okay.
I mean,
there's more than just her.
Scene.
Yeah.
At least that was the only thing that made it look interesting for like a second.
That's part of the movie.
So what do you?
No, well you.
Oh, me.
What do you give it?
Well, I'm going to get an F. Because, no, I have reasoning behind it.
Okay.
Because, much as I love the first movie, I was really super psyched about this.
Okay.
And maybe I overpsyched myself out. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I expect it to be,
at least entertaining. Right?
Better than this. This thing was just a waste.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. Maybe I did expect way too much. It didn't have to be like better than the first one.
Okay.
But where it was acceptable, good to watch.
Yeah.
Because it's always the sequel. Always, rare movies that it's always super, super, super good.
But let me ask you this: there's never really, well, that's never say never, but there's, but I don't think, as far as you and I are concerned, we've never seen a sequel that has dropped this hard.
Yeah, this was tough.
I don't think I have.
This was.
This is like skydiving.
I don't know if I ever gave it an F before. Maybe I don't know if it's I don't know if I should give it an F, but that's what I feel because I was that let down. Because
okay, let me ask you this: while you're watching the movie, after the first 20-ish minutes, right, and we're going along with the movie, when did you start to realize, oh man, this movie is.
I would say for me, when I turned to you and said, what's Wonder Woman doing?
Okay.
Because
that was like maybe
that was 40 minutes. 40-ish, maybe?
40 after the 20,
And I'm just going like, where's the action?
Yeah.
I mean, there was action, but where was Wonder Woman was nowhere to be seen. If you can't have someone that fights that good in their own movie.
Yes.
And who's massive, there should have been massive action in this.
Absolutely.
At all times.
Agreed.
Well, I mean, you gotta have the storyline,
sure, yes.
But she was from half of it on to the end.
Sure.
She was absolutely weak. I know she lost her powers.
Yeah.
But she
did
had all
nothing.
That training and shit, so she should have been.
She did nothing. Especially the ending when she's sitting there crying in the corner.
Yeah.
What the hell was that? This is why I gave it an F.
Now, is there any, like what I asked Bob, is there any, you say an F, but is there any, for you, redeeming value to the movie?
Not a damn thing. Okay, I'll say one thing.
Okay.
Her flying in the jet was kind of cool.
Okay, cool. Okay.
That didn't justify the rest of the movie.
Sure, I agree with you.
So,
wow.
F.
Damn.
Because
that's pretty much.
We all see bad movies in our own opinion, of course.
Seen quite a few.
But
lately.
I mean, I was just like, during the movie, I'm just going like, wow. Wow, this is bad.
95%
I mean, we were
like, what the fuck?
We were laughing through the whole movie. What movie did we watch last time that we laughed through the whole thing? It was just stupid.
Yeah.
You remember?
I think, what was it?
It was Rob Zombie.
Oh, Rob Zombie, yeah.
It was Salem.
Lords of Salem.
Lords of Salem.
Yeah, that was terrible.
We laughed so hard, I almost
even people in the movie theater was laughing at it.
Yeah, it was.
This one, we were doing the same thing.
We just were like, this is so stupid and just boring that you just have to laugh.
I didn't fall asleep, but I felt like it. I was trying to stay up. There was nothing bringing anything to me. Yeah, you're right. I was, but I mean, I still was paying attention, but there was nothing there.
Man,
I couldn't even when she was fighting Cheetah, she was weak.
Yeah,
and I understand why she was weak, but
it just
wasn't her awesome ass kick itself.
I agree.
I agree. It wasn't through the whole rest of the movie. There wasn't that.
And I think it's kind of sad because Gal Gadot was in the military before she became an actor.
Yes, yes, she
knows
was.
How to do this kind of shit.
You know,
I don't know who fucked this movie up.
Well.
Did Warner Brothers step in?
Well, let me.
Well, seriously.
Okay, so this movie was directed yet again by Patty Jenkins.
Yeah.
Now, Patty Jenkins did an amazing job with the very first one. Woman. No doubt about it.
Was she lit most of this movie?
I don't know, because the problem is like, in fact, this is kind of an interesting fact. Is that Zack Snyder was heavily involved in the development of the very first Wonder Woman, right? He was nowhere to be seen in the development of this film. Now,
it would have been better if he was here.
Does his development, would it have helped this movie? It's possible. I don't know.
You don't know 100%.
But you don't know 100%. But what I do know is that...
Blame the writers.
You blame the writers, you blame Patty Jenkins... You blame a lot of people here because they made the blueprint. They made the blueprint in that first Wonder Woman movie. They made it. So they couldn't
live up to the height. You got to come close to it.
They couldn't even stick to their own blueprint. So at the end of the day, look, this movie is incredibly boring. There's barely any action, and some of the action is just not even that good.
Like maybe 10% action.
The beginning was the best action, and that I guess
Kristen Wiig is in this, and that already takes points off. But I mean,
wow.
I mean, shit. The villains were incredibly lame because sometimes, and you guys know this, that sometimes you're only as good as your villains.
Yeah.
And if your villains are incredibly weak, then the movie might be weak.
I would have had her go up against another demigoddess like her. That would probably have been more interesting.
Something. I mean, okay, we get Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, raping a guy, who was supposed to be Steve Trevor. I guess okay, cool, fine, whatever.
That's another part I could point out. It's like at the end, after the wish is over, the guy's like, "Oh, hi, how's it going?" It's like, you didn't know you had sex with her?
Like look. The beginning of the movie is supposed to have her as a child doing these sort of, games with Olympic style games with other people, and they don't let her win because
she supposedly kind of cheated a little bit.
You can't cheat your way.
Cheat.
And maybe
there was a lesson to be learned.
And there was a lesson to be learned. And maybe that lesson was supposed to be throughout that movie of like, oh, you can't take the easy way. And maybe the wishing was supposed to be that.
Can't use lies.
The easy way. So maybe
I see where you go with that.
Yes. So maybe the movie, that was her lesson as she got older, that was pertaining to what she did when she was younger. Yeah. Maybe, but it never came across.
It was a shitty lesson.
It never came across that way. This movie,
basically.
Yeah, it sucked Dream Steve Trevor's balls. That's what it did.
No, that's what Diana did.
Well, yeah, but it's just a real shame of how far this sequel has went down compared to the first Wonder Woman. And
you got to say that about a lot of sequels. I mean, look at the one we saw a couple weeks ago, Bill and Ted. Oh.
Yeah, Bill and Ted was terrible, but I mean, this is even more, and I am incredibly disappointed. And
how much farther they can go than this?
The only redeeming value for me.
For me, it's Wonder Woman, but
yes,
because I really wanted to see it, and it just was. It felt miserably crazy.
I really like Gal Gadot, and that is probably the only saving grace for me of the movie. But I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a straight up D-. Maybe closer to an F.
You liked it a little bit.
A little bit, but I still, man, I'm so disappointed, and I hope that they recruit me for Wonder Woman 3 because
stunt double.
So I can completely fall asleep.
What the hell? Are you kidding?
I am.
You got the voice going.
Wonder Woman.
Kind of let yourself go, Wonder Woman.
Well, I had a few many cheeseburgers. Sorry.
That's okay.
No, cheese was, and Orange Julius.
Both good.
Now this is what they really dressed like in the 80s?
Absolutely.
That
was the end. Yeah.
Seriously?
Neither one of us remember. We were too young for this shit.
Yeah, we were too young, but I mean,
we all know.
I remember. I remember. But I didn't.
Are you?
Yes, I'm sure.
You're not lying to us.
I did not dress like that.
Yes, sir?
Positive.
Okay, he said he did.
I will tell you if I did. Dude, you're like 2. Fuck you.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, Lord. Yeah. Oh, my God. And actually, I also have the fanny pack, too, guys. So actually...
Oh, yeah.
Wrap it around his
neck. You put it in there.
Actually, I can do it. Oh, I got my...
Your lasso.
I got my Wonder Woman. Look at that. John.
All right.
Did you really not wear...
Bob's an idiot. Yes, he is.
Okay, wow. Bob, would you like the last one of the truth?
Jackass, and he dressed like this.
Don't copy me.
Oh.
Put it around him.
Oh, put it on me?
Seth, answer the question.
Yes.
Do you enjoy dressing like a woman? What was that? I couldn't hear you.
Yes.
What? What was that?
I do. No.
Saved by the Bell reject.
Seth Morris over here.
Seth Morris, baby.
I wonder it got canceled after the first episode.
When's the first class? And where's my Kelly capacity? Yeah. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. Let us know what you think of Wonder Woman 1984. Good, bad, ugly. Definitely let us know what you think.
Nightmare on Elm Street Part 10.
And we will be back next time for a brand new review. With my 80s garb, my Wonder Woman gear. I mean, guys.
Aren't you gonna go for a jog with that on?
A jog? Why can't I do
He's trying to get muggy frames inside of his apartment.
Well, I can see why. The fanny pack.
The fanny pack's
Well,
cool.
look at it this way. You can see him anywhere in the dark.
This is true.
It's not this. It's not cool.
This is true, but look, it's very vibrant. Clearly, I wouldn't get hit.
Go in the dark and see if we'll see him.
Guys, they clearly don't understand the awesomeness that is me and what I'm wearing right now. Clearly, they're.
Sure, you aren't using the drink soda and something you want.
You sure?
We'll be back next time, guys.